All right, today we're jumping into a pivotal moment from Demon Slayer. We're going to break down how a pretty standard demon hunt suddenly spirals into this massive world-changing revelation. We'll see how a physical fight uncovers a terrifying supernatural curse, and how a quiet human moment of grief actually sets the stage for a confrontation that changes absolutely everything. This right here, this is the core belief of our hero, Tanjiro Kamado. It's a philosophy he forged from unimaginable loss, and man, is it about to be put to the test. This one idea is what's going to drive every single move he makes through the wild events we're about to get into.
So let's dive right in. The story kicks off with a showdown against a demon that uses a literal swamp as its personal hunting ground. And this fight is going to push everything Tanjiro has learned in his training to the absolute edge. Okay, so this whole fight is all about the environment. The swamp demon has the ultimate home field advantage. It's taunting Tanjiro, saying the heavy, airless water makes it impossible to fight. But here's the one thing it completely overlooks. Tanjiro trained on a mountain where the air was even thinner than this. So what's supposed to be a death trap is actually, for him, kind of like familiar territory. So, to deal with the darkness and the fact that he can't get any footing, Tanjiro unleashes his sixth form, Twisting Whirlpool. This move is the perfect example of how adaptable he is. See, it doesn't need stable ground. By creating this insane twisting motion with his whole body, he generates a vortex, a whirlpool so powerful it can slice through anything in the water. He literally turns the demon's greatest weapon, the swamp itself, against it. Now, while Tanjiro is all about technique, his sister Nezuko is a whole other story. She just brings the pure, raw, demonic power. The demon she's fighting is totally shocked, pointing out that even without any special blood arts, her strength is just off the charts. It's this terrifying reminder that, yeah, she's on the side of good, but she is packing some serious, scary power of her own. With the demons taken care of, the physical fight is over. But the real battle, the psychological one, is just getting started. Tanjiro tries to interrogate the last demon standing, and he's about to uncover a power that is way creepier than any claws or fangs. And it all comes down to this one simple question. For Tanjiro, this is just trying to get intel on the monster who murdered his family. But for the demon, just hearing that name, well, it triggers this deep, primal, and really horrifying fear. The demon's response, I can't tell you, it's not him being defiant. It's pure, unfiltered terror. You can just feel this bone-deep dread that's about something way, way worse than Tanjiro and his sword. And now we get to the root of that fear. It's not just a master. It's an ever-present surveillance system. The demon genuinely believes that Muzan is watching him, right then, in that very moment. This transforms Muzan from some distant bad guy into this inescapable, all-seeing presence. This is the last, desperate thing the demon shrieks before its own body begins to violently self-destruct from the inside out. The fear becomes a physical reality, leaving Tanjiro with nothing but the scent of terror and a horrible, new understanding of his enemy's control. And this just lays it all out, doesn't it? This is the twisted genius of Muzan's evil. His control is absolute. He has biologically programmed every single demon he's ever created to be physically incapable of betraying him. His identity isn't protected by loyalty, it's enforced by a curse that turns their own bodies into weapons against themselves. Now, right after that dive into supernatural horror, the story slams on the brakes and grounds us in a moment of incredibly raw human emotion. Tanjiro is confronted by a man named Kazumi, whose fiancé was just killed by the demon. Kazumi's just broken by grief, and seeing Tanjiro, who's just a young boy, he lashes out. In his mind, there's no way this kid could possibly understand the kind of pain he's feeling. And it's a gut-wrenching but totally understandable reaction. But then, everything flips. As Tanjiro was handing back a keepsake from his lost fiancé, Kazumi sees his hands. And they aren't a kid's hands. They are calloused, scarred, and worn down by battle. In that one single moment, he gets it. Tanjiro isn't just some kid. He's a survivor, just like him. They're connected by the same silent pain of having lost everything. And right after that quiet, profound moment of shared grief, bam! The story just catapults Tanjiro into the complete opposite environment, the loud, chaotic, glittering city of Asakusa in Tokyo. I mean, the contrast here is just staggering.
Tanjiro has only ever known this quiet, rural, traditional version of Japan. And suddenly he is dropped into a world of electric lights, buildings that scrape the sky, and crowds so thick he can barely breathe. It's a total sensory overload, and it's meant to make us feel just as disoriented as he is. But right in the middle of all this noise and chaos, one single familiar scent cuts through it all like a knife. It's a smell he has never, ever forgotten, and it connects the most traumatic night of his life directly to this crowded city street. This timeline is basically the story's central clue. Tanjiro's superhuman sense of smell has always been his greatest weapon, but this is the moment it leads to the biggest revelation of all, the scent of the demon who killed his entire family. It's here, in this crowd, right now. So he follows the scent, pushing his way through the crowd, and he finds its source. And this is the ultimate reveal. The ancient, all-powerful demon king, Muzan Kibutsuji, isn't hiding out in some dark fortress. He's right here, in plain sight, disguised as a sophisticated gentleman, a loving husband, and a doting father to a little human girl. And as Tanjiro just stands there, completely frozen in shock and horror, Muzan turns to him with this chillingly calm, almost polite question. He's completely unbothered, perfectly camouflaged in the one place no one would ever think to look, a happy family. And that's the impossible situation we're left with. Tanjiro has finally found his ultimate enemy, but he can't just attack. Muzan is holding his human daughter's hand. He's surrounded by a crowd of innocent people who have no idea what's going on. To attack him here would mean a massacre. So the question is, what can he possibly do?